What's happening, everybody? Welcome this evening or whenever it is you're listening to another episode of Moss of VAR. I know you've been here for all of them through the name changes, through the upheaval. And before we start off with tonight's contentious, incendiary edition of the podcast, I'll let the O's introduce themselves in alphabetical order. Chad, tell the people who you are.
Yeah, so I think the people know who I am. I'm Chad. I'm a diehard Chelsea supporter. Up the Blues. That's all I got to say.
Jesse say freeze it.
Even those aren't even Brazil's colors. All of a sudden, I'm saying those aren't even Brazil's colors. Chad said up the Blues, and even I've never seen that Brazil jersey in my life.
It's the blue Brazilians. It's the Estevaos, the João Pedros.
You wearing an Estevaos jersey? I'm wearing a Richarlison jersey. What you got on next? You got on a Martinelli jersey. Who's those Brazilians? Huh? It's only sack Brazilians you got.
No, we're China more. But Tommy Yasu.
Tommy Yasu.
No, but let me introduce myself in case the viewers are watching for the first time. For those who've been through all the name changes, everything we have been. I mean, what else is there left to say besides I wear my heart on my sleeve? I say it as it is. And we'll get into what this topic's really about and why we joined here today. But yeah, you'll know who I support if you're joining me for the first time. Just wait, just give us 2 minutes.
Your gold badges.
What you said, Chad?
No, I said this. I was moving with just his heart on his sleeve. No gold badges.
You're talking about the Trump trophy.
Oh, gold badges. No, but
Trump never give us the invites.
Yeah, why Trump never invite Arsenal to the thing?
Oh, because bro, you gotta win something in Europe. You know how it feels.
It's an invitational thing.
Now, but I want to jump in this evening before we start. Y'all know how much we love talking about ball, and with this podcast, we're trying to not just expand like the conversations that we're having, but we're trying to connect with people that enjoy talking about ball as much as we do. Like we love soccer. So like, if we're not watching soccer, some of us don't have the physique anymore to play soccer. So the only way we can experience football, like, is through the TV, or if you're lucky, sometimes on the grounds, But this week in our chat that we bring to you the podcast, because this is the extension of our chat, right? This week, the chat's gone to an interesting place for anybody that likes to talk about football. We got a lot of experts. Like if you're experts in the field of medicine, they book you, they tell you, right, come in. We're hosting a small convention. There's other people that's working in the same field that you're working in, right? You got 16 years, I don't know, cutting out spleens. Come tune us how you cut out a spleen and then you say splenectomy, get what I'm saying? Now, football don't have that.
Yeah.
Football has got a collection of ex-players, ex-managers, times ex-commentators that are considered the experts at the field, and then the rest of us. So before I fully introduce the topic, is there anything that you all want to say about analysts and about your expertise and what you think football expertise looks like?
No, well, I just want to get into it. So I'll just let Jesse.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oh no, in fact, I'll go for the chat.
No, I said you can go ahead. I'm just ready to get into this. That's all.
Okay. All right. Jesse, you got something to say it, but otherwise I wanna tee up what Chad's meaning. I get what he's meaning.
No. I think let's. No. I think while we've got Chad in this mood and in this moment, let's just take full advantage of it and get straight into it.
Let me team up.
We've got him lined up in the scope.
All right, let me.
I But
Let me let you speak.
let me ask Neil first. Let me ask Neil first. Is this a
Okay,
2-on-1? Is this a 2-on-1?
No, not at all. Not at all. I got something specific that I want to talk about. I don't think it's exactly what you're thinking.
No.
I don't think it's exactly what you're thinking. I'm just saying I am putting the string around the top. And I do feel that when I let it go, I do feel like you're going to go. So I'm just saying. I do feel like that. But, okay, so, all right, let me say what the thing is, right? It's like football is, you know how I feel. It's a mixture of performance, statistics, results, trophies, accolades, Ballon d'Ors. There's all these things that's going on, right? And a lot of those things are open to interpretation, but a lot of those things we can track them. We can follow them. We can draw a line. We can say this column is this column. You know what I'm saying? But increasingly when you speak to fans, like us, we fans now, right? And actually I say a lot of the people that are journalists and ex-players and who are also guilty of this, you can't, even in the face of like the evidence, it's hard for you to give what I call an expert opinion because your opinion is ruined. Let me explain what I mean. You can't ask a O if his vrouw is ugly. You can't ask a O if his vrouw is ugly. Like that's his vrouw. Like, he's never going to be able to give you an answer. You get what I'm saying there? That's correct.
And to him, his vrouw might be like a bombshell, bro.
No, she should be. It's not whether she is or she isn't. She should be.
So the O would be like biased eyes.
Yeah, I expect it's even hard to ask another O. Hey, say, how's this O's pro? Is his pro firing? Like, because there's so many things about the way we see the world, right? But like, so if I ask someone, hey, how's your boyfriend? Is he handsome or not? You get what I'm saying? It's different because, okay, let me put it to you like this, right? So if there's two O's and we're comparing them, there's two O's and we're comparing them now, right? I asked this girl, hey, how does boyfriend here compares to your ex? How does this one compare to this husband compare to your ex-boyfriend? There's things that she can tell me about other things, about feelings, but then if I ask what job does he have, she can tell me whether his job pays him more than the ex's job. That's a thing. Like, you get what I'm saying? This all was working in the Ignition call center. This all is he's doing something else. Like that's a number, like we can track that. So that's not about how the O makes her feel. You get what I'm saying? That's a thing.
Yeah.
You see, so there's things that we can follow. We can say this O got muscles, this O don't have muscles. So it's not my feeling. It's like I can see my man in the gym chowing creatine and snorting ephedrine and all that thing. I can see, this one, he got muscles. You get what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily change the feeling. And that's what Chad don't understand. That was the basis of our issue earlier on. I can't ask you if Caicedo is a better midfielder than another midfielder because you are not. The answer you're giving can't be an honest answer because you're incapable of that. It's not about your football brain. It's not about how you see the game. It's not about how many minutes you watch Caicedo for. When you're watching that, you've seen different things. Like you're forgiving him for things that I won't forgive him for.
Bro,
do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, but bro, was I not saying this in like a million?
No, you weren't saying that.
I was trying to prove the point that we all watch football. We watch the game through our own biased lens for our teams. That's the point I was trying to make. I was saying that we all don't watch it the same way we would watch, like the way we would watch a normal match, normal players like that don't belong to our team. It wouldn't be the same way we watch our own players, our own team. That's why I can't ask you about your player. Because you're watching with hearts in your eyes. Your hearts are fluttering and all when you're watching him playing. Can't. I think sometimes, like what you said about debates, right? The discussion, there's certain things you need to factor in. I think certain O's use their own metrics Like it's selective. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're
Like
supposed to. You must make your case. You must make your case for your own.
Okay,
You
but
must make your case for your
yeah,
own.
but okay, but listen, we have let's just say we have a football discussion group, and you're now gonna have now you're gonna have a conversation, a debate with the Arsenal supporter. Your metrics is everything, like what you said. You want to include trophies, you want to include everything. This so don't want to include.
Yeah.
Wait, listen, you don't want to include European football. You don't want to include the inception of the Premier League era. Like, it's selective metrics, bro.
It's not selective. You're supposed to. If I ask you, is your husband ugly? You're supposed to say no. If you don't say, your immediate answer is not no, I'm looking at you funny. So the same thing that makes you an expert on your players is the same reason your opinion can't be trusted on your players, bro.
Okay. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, we all love our teams, right? That's one we can agree. That's one thing we can agree on. But you would also have to say that while I am a diehard Spurs supporter, I'm probably a bigger football supporter, a lover of football. Yeah, so for me, that's when that needs to come into play. And where you say,
I'm with Jesse. I will never bet money on a Spurs game because it's impossible for me to.
I'm not a bigger football supporter than I am an Arsenal supporter. No, that's
okay. Yeah. So
let me. I think Neil made a good comment there. If I can just make this point, Neil made an excellent line there where he said, "You will forgive players for things that we won't forgive him for." Now, Neil said a lot over there, but if you just take that one line,
I agree, bro. I agree.
When was it? Last season before? No. So now, wait. If you look at the season before, it was Kai Havertz who let us down big time in big moments, and to the world, this was a sack. And in fact, you can even argue that there's more cases to prove that he's a sack than he isn't. But bro, when I say I cannot wait for Kai Havertz to come back from injury, I'm like missing the O. I'm missing the O. Like I'm on my knees and I'm waiting. I'm watching training videos. I'm googling pictures. I'm checking. No. But that's because I've forgiven the O when the world still sees this O as, hey, remember, this is the O during the title run-in. This is the one that let him on. This is the O who can't finish his one-on-one chances. I'm not seeing it like that. I'm seeing it as, hey, this is the O who's going to take us over the line because I've forgiven him.
Yes. You also telling me about Mickey Van der what's his name? I'm talking about Mickey Van der Ven, about Florian Wirtz's runs off the balls. I'm not watching this also runs off the balls. I'm barely watching him play. So the times when I'm watching him play, I'm only looking for output. You can't tell me. I'm only watching this Selma Quinias on the side of the road. That's all I'm seeing. You can't tell me about what he does when he gets home and how he picks flowers for you. And you are selling Maquinias, my friend. You are Maquinia salesman. Finished. And that's what I'm trying. But that's where it gets weird, Chad. And that's where I want to bring it home with you. And then we're going to leave this topic alone. I'm just going to say this.
Even after I've also made my points. Because
But no, I'm going to hit you with something. I'm going to say something. Yeah. So when I compare Vincent Kompany to John Terry, you comparing, if you say to me, I'll give you an example. If you say John Terry has scored the most goals of any defender that's ever played in the Premier League, I can't argue with that because he has scored the most goals of any defender who's ever played in the Premier League. But Vincent Kompany played 212 games and scored 4 less goals than him, and he played 509 games. So even within that stat, even within there's lies in the truth. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we still have to apply logic to what we see.
Yeah, so look, look for like the Terry Company thing, it's too world class. Yes. I'm not gonna say you don't have a case, you don't have an argument. You're gonna pick a side, and like I've been saying,
you said I was swearing. You were sending pictures of old swearing.
I'm saying, like, when you're a supporter of your team, more often than not, you're gonna favor the you've seen more of, right? because
I don't watch Vincent Kompany.
No, but I'm just saying.
I don't watch him. More than Terry. Yeah.
But compare him to a player that's on his level, like just a Spurs player. Compare, like when it's someone when it's two players that are close, more often than not, you're gonna hear, even if you're not like this, more often
but
than not.
But they were close. But they actually were close.
Yes, but
Vincent Kompany has a higher clearance record, a higher tackle percentage, completes more passes, more aerial clearances. He's got every statistical category that you can have. No, wait, listen. They say if Oza's sprinting, Carl Lewis can't run as fast as Usain Bolt. It's finished. There's nothing to argue about, right? And I understand that we need to add other things in, but I'm saying the game of football that we're watching now, it's not our Bali's football. And we need to stop doing this thing of romanticizing our Bali's era and romanticizing what came before. Because the game has evolved.
I don't think we do.
Also eating pizza, also not smoking guys while they're sitting on the bench, also looking off.
So you saying John Terry, John Terry. Well, the thing is, you saying you can't compare the two. That's what you're saying. Sounds like it.
What I'm saying is, football now. Football now is better than football 30 years ago. You can bring any team from 30 years ago and make them play the top team of now. Any team, they will get hyped because they are not as.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about.
You know what?
The reason
I agree and I also disagree with that. Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
No, the reason why a lot of O's respect John Terry and Ferdinand and those O's is because of that era that they played in. Vincent Kompany.
That's what I'm complaining about.
But Vincent Kompany was in a City team that were dominating, thriving, winning title after title. I think they won. Was it 3 titles in a row?
Bro,
did they do that?
Hang on. Vincent Kompany was playing next to Julian Lescott. John Terry was playing in. John Terry was playing in all-time defense. Every single one of those players in that defense.
Vincent Kompany was not considered the best or one of the best defenders when he was partnered alongside Julian Lescott, and you know that he wasn't considered.
Who said that?
At that time, he wasn't at that time. That was when City under Mancini. No one expected him to be.
So who was he playing next to when he was dominant?
No, I'm
you're gonna stop pulling out sparser names. No matter who you pull out, they are not in the same category as Peter Cech behind you, Ashley Cole, John Stones.
I agree with that.
You understand?
I'm talking about the opposition. Who did Pep come up against? He had Thierry Henry in his prime.
Stop. Stop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that we look at this golden era of ball as though it's the golden era of ball.
But the truth. That's my era.
I'm older than you, Chad. That's supposed to be my era. I'm saying we need to break this generational curse of saying, yeah, but Joe didn't see Sir Stanley Matthews play. Sir Stanley Matthews will get crunched now. The O's will take him out fully because the O's that are playing ball now are not. Let me explain something to you.
Look, if you're having a debate, football's evolved. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yep. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, now if you're playing as a defender,
let me.
Now if you're playing as a defender. Bro, when you're a defender now, you have to learn all ball skills. Back then, if you were the big O, you go stand there at the back, the coach tell you the ball come this way, send it that way. Your graph is take ball. If you can't take ball, take man. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's how we were playing, bro. We were playing in tournaments and all. Like, if we could go get Delron Buckley now and ask him, he'll tell you that. That's who he was playing against. The ball comes this way, send it that way. I'm saying we watch the O.
Bro,
we watch a centre back.
How did we get here to this?
I'm telling you, we watched a centre back on Wednesday nights. Dribble the ball from his own penalty area, ran the length of the pitch and scored a goal. Have you seen that? Who can do that?
Let me share my thoughts on this.
Right?
Tony Adams. But let me make a point.
Tony Adams can't dribble past. No one is playing ball now. No one.
Yeah, but Neil, you're having a different argument.
We can single out certain players. Wait, let me make.
We're talking about personnel.
Wait, we can single out certain. We can single out certain players that can't do what Mickey van der Ven done or whatever. And yes, if we single out to fit, it goes back to the propaganda that we are trying to push. It comes to no one will say that their throw is ugly, or no one will say their husband's ugly. Yes, sure. That part's fine. A cherry pick that works for whatever side you want to pick. But if you want to say the players back then weren't technically gifted, when if you look at a Thierry Henry,
if I look at
who else was there? A Shevchenko. You look.
I'm trying
to think of all the names. Nani.
I'm cutting across you because.
Let me just land with this point.
Okay, sure. No.
See, back in you could get a Nani who is a Nani who is. Nani wouldn't play for any team now. I never ever thought too much of Nani, but Nani who has so much technical ability. Where, yes, you can either take a player or ball, but he was still doing it back in that day. Now, back to the John Terry point, because Yolas were going back and forth, and I never get a chance to say this. But yes, Terry was behind a Michael Essien and in front of a Peter Cech, but he also was next to a Gary Cahill who had played for Bolton, like literally before he became Gary Cahill. Yes, you can look at Ricardo Carvalho and some of the other players that he's played next to. But there are certain players who went to Chelsea with big profile, like Ivanovic, Paulo Ferreira. Those, if you just take John Terry out that team, Paulo Ferreira is not Paulo Ferreira, bro. I can almost guarantee you that. Neither is Gary Cahill.
Yes, because they're complementing the team, right?
Okay,
carry on.
Okay, so, bro, I don't have an issue with you saying football's evolved. You are never going to lose that debate with me, because I'm going to agree. Football has evolved, and which is why we see goalkeepers not being asked to just shot stop. They're asked to play with the ball at their feet. Right backs are no more right backs; they full backs. So I get that, and maybe you can even say, okay, the average defender today can do things that the average defender back then couldn't do. I get all of those things, but I still think there's certain, like, you cannot ignore personnel. And I agree with what Jesse said. With John Terry, like, for me, I'm a Chelsea fan. I'm gonna go with John Terry. In the same way, United O is probably going to go with Rio Ferdinand. Because when there's two O's that are on the level, or at least close by, or both recognized and respected for what they achieve in their football careers, turning up in big games, the success, the trophies, all of that. John Terry, bro, you can't even deny that in big games, bro. So when I see that,
he missed a penalty in the Champions League final.
He slipped, bro. Messi's missed a penalty.
In the Champions League final.
Bro, he's a centre back. It's not. He slipped. Look at that. I was.
Gerrard slipped in his most crucial moment in his career.
He slipped. Bro,
I don't like him either. I don't think he's fine either. I don't rate him either. All those. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, what you're missing is, I'm not talking about the ceiling. I'm talking about the floor. You can compare the ceiling to the ceiling in almost any era, because the truth is, O's like Thierry Henry and Gianfranco Zola and like those, or their talent was so far above people around him that they were transformative in the way that they played the game. They were. So the ceiling is comparable to the ceiling. What I'm saying is the floor.
I think I've got something to defeat your whole argument.
All right, go.
I think I've got something to defeat your whole argument. So let's look at John Terry era, right? Think of the top 10 best strikers in the league at that time.
Exactly.
You know who?
Whoa.
Think of the top 3 strikers.
Let's name them.
Think of the top 3 strikers.
Rooney,
I've said 10. I've said 10 back in the day.
Rooney.
I've said wait. I've said 10. I've said top 10 from that era. And now tell me who's the top 3 best strikers in this league today.
Right.
You
cut across. Hang on. You cut across my points. You cut across my points to reinforce my point. Let me tell you what I'm trying to say to you. I'm saying Thierry Henry, for me, is the greatest footballer that ever played in the Premier League. He's number 1. He's the greatest. Mo Salah catching him up. Mo Salah kind of is there, right? So I'm
now do you get what I'm saying about how we bring our own metrics? Because a Liverpool fan, and I'm not debating you to say that Henry wasn't the best. No, wait, listen. I'm not saying that he wasn't the best. I'm saying my point is how someone can bring their own metrics to win arguments. Like a Liverpool fan will come and say, yeah, but how many league titles did Henry win? And
but that's the thing. Those arguments are timeless. I'm not having those arguments. I think that's what fuels football debate. That's what I like. I like all that talking, all that shit, all that bands, and that's beautiful. But I'm saying there's an argument to be made.
They genuinely think Salah's the greatest in the Premier
And that's
League.
cool. That's what fuels us as fans. So I'm not arguing about that. It's a preference thing. That's your froze fight.
No.
Okay, wait, hang on. What I'm saying is the floor. So when you say the top 10 strikers from that time, right? When you say the top 10 strikers from that time, and I say the top 10 strikers from now, when we get to Kevin Davies versus Mateta, we are having a different conversation.
Don't do that.
We are having a different thing.
That's what I'm saying. Let's add context and let's name the 10 strikers.
No.
Hang on. And let's name the strikers now.
Mateta's in the top 5 now.
Hang on. What I'm trying to say is, in terms of, and this argument all started from one important point that I want to go back to, which is that I was saying you cannot compare the footballing ability of Gabriel to John Terry. Gabriel is better than John Terry at football. He just is better at Indian football. He is. I
will never ever agree with that. And based off what?
How?
Tell me what's the metrics? Your naked eye. The bird's eye view.
Watching everything about
mere watching. That's because that's my point.
It's not me. I hate Gabriel. I hate him. I actively despise him. I also don't smack John Terry because he's a racist and all. These are two others. I don't smack both of them. So to me, it's not a preference thing between the two of them. I'm saying from watching ball, if you told me I'm the coach, all right, and they're both the same age, and I'm standing there on the pitch and I'm picking a team, and I had to pick between John Terry and Gabriel, the only thing you can start telling me is about the passion in his eyes and all, when you start talking about John Terry, because the actual point of playing football, passing, heading, tackling, everything that makes football. Everything that makes football.
He loses every one of those attributes, in the same way that he loses those attributes to company. And we have empirical evidence. We can pull up their stats now. No, I think you need to come to the conclusion that John Terry is just rubbish for you, and your point is
rubbish. He's not rubbish. I'm saying he's rubbish.
No,
I've never seen rubbish.
I'm saying I'm looking at
this tune.
Okay, but listen, if I'm looking at John Terry through Neil's view, through his eye lens, he is awful. He's garbage.
No, he's not awful. Let me ask this question. And this is what I mean about football. No, Jesse, it's not my opinion. Jesse, do you think that if you were in a pinch, listen, do you think if you were in a pinch and you were struck by injury crisis, do you think that Gabriel could play behind the front two and do okay?
I really don't think so. I think Gabriel is one of the best.
I don't think that. But I do want to make a point.
How would John Terry get cooked? If John Terry's in the middle of the pitch, he's at sea. That man is at sea. His strength is him organizing and marshalling a defense. Once he steps, John Terry's interception numbers are pathetic. His interception numbers are pathetic.
Let me make a point.
He's played everywhere.
Who? John Terry. Talking nonsense.
But that's it. I've seen more of him, bro. I can never ever
goalkeeper. He played goalkeeper.
Understand who's watched more Terry. I've watched Terry.
Probably back at the beginning. Now we're back at the beginning.
No.
Now we're back at the beginning. So you watched him more. Don't make you an expert on him. You will never hear a bad word about him.
Wait.
No. You will never hear a bad word about him. So what's the point? Why am I talking to you about him?
But
that's what I'm saying.
This was my point in the WhatsApp group. Bro.
John Terry cannot break up play. John Terry cannot break up play. If he's in the middle of the field and anybody with a little bit of ability and a little bit of pace is going past him. They are going past him. John Terry, the others are going past him. We have interception figures. We have his advancing the ball figures. He had Claude McAlaley playing in front of him. So
now we criticize the abilities because of all the good players around him. Since when, bro?
Your job as the coach is to put it like
you're saying
your job is the coach.
But Neil does do that with VAR. He does do that with VAR.
Yes, I do that with everyone.
Neil does do that with David Raya.
I do that with everyone.
No,
I don't
he
think.
does it with David Raya. He says that the O's got 50 clean sheets in 100 games. 50 clean sheets in 100 games, but because he's behind Saliba and Gabriel. But wait, let me just make this point.
I like Babatov.
Make a point on the
I like Babatov. Wait, hang on. I like Babatov. Babatov is a very silky player. Good close control, decent finishing. He can hold the ball up. He can do a lot of things. If you ask me, how was he attacking back? I can't tell lies now and say to Oaken, he can't do that. That's not his game. So if I'm setting up a team, I have to set it up.
What you just said earlier about Terry breaking up play, it's not his game.
That's what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying John Terry is a limited footballer who played to his strengths and surrounded himself by people that covered up his limitations, and he marshaled that defense. That was his defense. But he also had all-time fire players around him. All-time fire players. And as a unit, what that defense did, as a unit, what that defense and that goalie, and what it's not, Jesse, it's not your opinion. They are the most successful back line of all time. They are. There's no opinion that we can put in there. Will that record get overtaken? I don't know. But I'm saying right now.
For how long?
Okay, that's just the point. But the point is, that doesn't mean that John Terry can eat a bicycle. He can't eat a bicycle. He can't eat a bicycle. There's nothing wrong with me saying he can't eat a bicycle. If you're asking me to pick out to eat a bicycle.
That's care to win, that he can't win a bicycle, that he can't do a bicycle.
Yes, but he can't advance the ball. Can he advance the ball? How good is he at beating a man and passing the ball? How good is he at breaking up play? How good is he at the thing?
His defensive abilities.
I'm not attacking his defensive abilities. I'm saying Gabriel is better at those other things than he is. Gabriel is better at football than he is. I don't know why this is a difficult debate. It's not a difficult debate.
I'll tell you why the issue, because you're looking at certain.
Let me make 2 points.
I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at football. I'm looking at football.
Attacking is football, but defending is not football. Breaking play is football. Beating your man.
I want to make 2 points.
But it's not football to sit and being good in positioning and to lead and to march. Like you like.
No, that's good defense. That's good defense. That's not good football. If John Terry wins the ball back and got at his foot, he's not recycling play and doing the other things that Gabriel can do. And I can't just say so.
The Gabriel and Terry conversation, as much as Gabriel, I think he's one of the best defenders who's ever played for my club, who ever put on a jersey. I think it's premature, firstly, to have this conversation when the O hasn't won a league title just yet.
I can never.
Let me make my point. I think it's premature.
No.
I think it's
Steph Curry is better at taking 3-pointers than Shaq. We could tell that after 3 seasons. We don't need 19 seasons to establish who's better at doing that between the two of them.
But then
we don't need 19 seasons.
Okay, but then based off what you just
We don't need 19 seasons.
Neil, based off what you just said.
If we're talking,
what about what you said to me about Cole Palmer lost at the start of this season? You said no, 2 seasons in. Remember the debate we had on WhatsApp? You said it's too soon.
Be careful now. Be careful now. I never. I said he's a fantastically talented player.
Yes.
One of the most talented players. Well, I said that about Esteval as well. I said that about Esteval as well this week.
Players. That's what you said.
Okay, but there's my point.
Dele Alli.
No. Oh, yes, because I said at that point in time, don't act like Dele Alli was a sack. You came back and Dele Alli was a sack when he was playing. He wasn't a sack when he was playing. So what I'm saying right now, I can't draw a conclusion about Esteval's whole career. I can't do that. Yeah, but if you're asking me, is Esteval to me a more talented footballer than Nani? Hey, bro, Nani is maybe even close. Who's a sack? Give me a sack. Give me an example of a sack. Like someone that just frustrates you. And that's what I'm trying to say. Even within... Who's that?
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah. Brennan Johnson. There you go. That's my player. And I'm saying right now, if Chelsea offered me a like-for-like swap for them, I'd go for it. With everything that I know. If you offer me a like-for-like swap right now, I'd go for it. He doesn't need to play. He doesn't need to play 100 games for me to draw a conclusion about ability. Ability is ability. Gabriel has more footballing ability than John Terry. I'm not talking about careers. I'm not talking about all the other things that you're talking about.
But I know you're not talking about that. I'm still disagreeing with that though. Because I don't believe that to be true as someone who's seen this week in, week out, bro. That's like, this is what I was talking about. What must I do if I don't believe that and I don't see that? Because we all, and this was my point, we all have football minds in here, and I respect each and every one. So if I have my own view, and do I just accept, okay, you know what, I feel different, but let me just take Neil's view and let me just apply that on you. So exactly, bro.
What I'm saying is, if me and you are having a footballing conversation, and the footballing conversation, if the footballing conversation is about Gabriel versus Vidic, maybe you and I can have a genuine conversation about that. What I'm saying is, once I say Gabriel versus Terry, it unlocks something primally. It's not wrong. We all have it. I'm saying it unlocks something different. It's a different conversation we're having.
But I'm saying even the Vidic one I'm not having.
You don't think Gabriel is better than Vidic?
No, bro. Not at all. And it sounds like I say Gabriel's easy top 2 best defenders in the league.
Vidic
just even says that Gabriel's.
Let me tell you why I disagree with both of you.
He says Saliba.
Christian Romero has won the World Cup. Romero has won the World Cup. He's a very, very good defender within that Argentina system. Even at Spurs, he's our captain, he's our leader. I'm not saying he's better than Gabriel. It would be mad for me to say he's better than Gabriel. I'm not going to make that point because I'm dizzy.
Okay, but that's a different thing because Gabriel.
What is a different thing?
Because Gabriel is widely regarded by the football journalists, the pundits, and coaches, players, fan bases. He's widely regarded as the top 2 defenders in the Premier League. So that's why you would, even though you might get some on board if you have that arguments with Romero, because everyone respects that O2 and he's world class. It's like matching world class for world class, but there's one O that's like a little bit high compared to how most people see it. So you are going to have some O's on board, but there's going to be many that's going to push back and say, no, you can't even compare the two. So that's not the problem. But that's the problem.
We're allowing people into these conversations that are saying you can't compare the two. A lot of the time when we're having these football conversations, we're letting the pundits and the people leading this come in and just said, what's his name? Carragher said the other day, some team is playing like Sheffield United. And I was like, bro, they're not playing like Sheffield United. Sheffield United is in League One. Like, there's a reason why they're in League One. The O's are suffering at the moment, but they're not Sheffield United.
But Drew, I just think my thing
there's one point I wanted to make.
Okay.
My point that I was trying is that when you talk footballing ability, and just said that's what you're supposed to be doing when you're talking about bias and all metrics. But we talk about what defenders supposed to be good at. You know, I wish there was some consistency when you ask what is Neto, and then and I know that's
I admit so.
But it was so fleeting. So by the time I replied to him,
do you see what? Okay, looks like you'll never get what I say fully over there. But what I was trying to say is that if we look at a player and his full metrics and what his role is supposed to be, why aren't we doing it for every position? And why is hard work a metric for this?
Thank you, son. Why is passion a metric?
Let me come in here. Y'all are confusing the life out of me because y'all are using the exact same things that were in my voice notes and use it against me when I'm in agreement with the same thing. The point I'm trying to make is everyone's view, their methodology, their metrics, it's all selective.
I'm disagreeing with both of them. I'm disagreeing with both of you.
Okay, I'm trying to make the point that we all have football minds. We all know what we're talking about, and we all see the game through a different lens, a unique lens.
Not when it comes to our teams, though.
Let me finish, though. This is what makes us different opinions. Have different opinions. This is what makes us different. We don't need another Chad Nagel. We don't need another Jesse Nagel. We don't need another Neil Green. That's what makes you unique. You're gonna see, Neil. I'm gonna trust that you're gonna see things that I'm gonna miss. Jesse's gonna find things in football matches that I might see. I might not see.
Yeah.
It's the same way I'm gonna pick up things and be like, hey, check here. You'll need to start also checking this out. We all bring something different, bro, and we all have a different lens. And for me, I think we are going to be selective, and there is going to be some biasness towards your team, but I don't think it's always because of out of pure biasness for the sake of it. I also think it's because of how you watch, and this is what I said in the voice in WhatsApp. It's because of how you watch a game differently, and you might be different, Neil. You might be more open. I've seen Jesse. I lived with this so. This so watches a game the same way I watch my team at the edge of your seat. Nobody talks to us. Nobody talks to us when our teams are playing. Nobody even walk past the screen. But the moment, even if it's a United, Liverpool, you can put the kettle on or make toast. You can go to the toilet.
It's easy.
And you're not really focused. So the thing is, my conclusion, I will never watch a game the way you watch Spurs, the way I watch Chelsea, the way he watches Arsenal. Does that mean no one is allowed to say anything now? And no, of course not.
No, but what it means is, Chad, if I say to you, Chad, hey, say your season's gone. How's your season gone so far? Like, who's disappointed you, and who do you think has like come through? I think you're going to give me a great answer. I think you're going to give me a really, really in-depth answer. I think you're going to make me, that's why we talk ball, because you're going to make me think about something that I never thought about, or you're going to tell me, you're going to send a link, check this highlights for something I may have missed.
Yeah.
But the thing that you're talking about putting the kettle on and all that there is why I can't ask you to compare across teams. Not can't ask you. I like asking you. I like these discussions. I'm just saying that your answer is not going to be as truthful. Not because there's anything wrong with you,
but I just think
because you're being dishonest.
But I think it's how most people watch their teams. I don't think it's a unique
thing. I think that's all people.
I think most people watch their teams that way.
Or that's just what it is. It means more to you.
Team,
if it's your team.
There's a part I agree with, and there's a part I disagree with what Chad said. See, I agree with you with your club. You'll find certain things that other people won't see. But then
Yes.
the parts I disagree with is where you say a player is is where you say he actually is good, but then this player's been in the Premier League for like 8 years. Like, no, there's nothing that you saw that I didn't see. For me at that point, it's like for me at that point, it's literally insulting to my footballing intelligence to say, you have seen this the way I've
sorry,
seen
Jesse.
it.
Sorry, Jesse. I didn't mean to spoil your flow or anything. I have to run away quickly. Thank you for having. I can't believe I have to leave at this point in the conversation. But just something came up there quickly. Don't run away. Don't go. I want to hear the end of this tomorrow.
That's a good cliffhanger to leave.
So sorry,
to leave it on. And then we want our viewers, we want our listeners to leave their comments in, follow the pages, and
we'll come back.
Joining
I'm so sorry.
Lucky, bro.